We got a phone call from Dr. Masiakos, and he asked us if we were alone and told us that they found some fluid that was not common. Then he continued and said, however, we did find something else. We found a mass on her pancreas.
On July 28th, Lindsey came home from a long day of day camp and was saying that her stomach was hurting her. And we thought not much of it. She didn't come down for dinner, and her symptoms continued to progress. She had more severe pain, she started vomiting, and my maternal instinct just kind of kicked in and said, I need to call the doctor on call. Like, something is wrong. They did an ultrasound, and when we got back to, the room, they said that she had, an appendicitis, and they would need to operate first thing the next morning. I was in the waiting room, and Dr. Masiakos came in, and he said, it went as planned, but her appendicitis was a bit more inflamed than we originally thought.
A scan was done to determine what kind of an infection she had and whether she had anything that we needed to address. And at that time, not only did we find some fluid where it shouldn't be, which was consistent with the thought of an infection, but we also found a mass on the pancreas.
We walked back into the room. She was watching High School Musical on a big screen. And she said, why are you crying? And I said, we have to go downtown to Mass General. I just kept saying, well, thank goodness we're here. Like, I think we had to keep telling ourselves, like, but we're at Mass General. Like, if this is happening, I want to be here.
Lindsey's tumor was a distal pancreatic tumor, which basically means at the tail end of the pancreas. We needed to have Lindsey fully recovered from the appendicitis, because the last thing you want to do when you put somebody through a pancreatic operation is have them start below their baseline, which would just challenge their recovery. So I think it was really important to give Lindsey the best chance to recover from this operation.
So I had a list of questions just about what the surgery, what the surgery was. Are they going to be able to preserve her spleen? What's the recovery? Like, is she going to be okay? So he called me that day, and the first thing he said to me was, I'm really sorry you have to go through this. And immediately I just felt like he is a compassionate man who's going to take care of our daughter.
We happen to be one of the top volume institutions for pancreatic cancer and just general pancreatic care. And so in thinking about her case, number one, I wanted to do this minimally invasively so that we could get her to recover functionally much faster and get back to her daily activities of living, including school and so on. But the second thing that we wanted to do is, in doing this robotically, is that hopefully we'd be able to peel off the pancreas off these blood vessels that go to the spleen. And in doing so, if we're able to preserve these blood vessels, we'd be able to preserve her spleen. Both Dr. Masiakos and I and our respective teams were in the operating room. So there was a pediatric surgery team and there was a pancreatic surgery team, which is obviously probably the biggest advantage that we're able to offer in a hospital like this, is we have the expertise in both sides. And then we marked out the sites of where we expected the keyholes would be, essentially where the instruments would go in for the robotic procedure. And with the help of the magnification and the three-dimensional imaging that we get with the robot, we began peeling the tumor off. And then we proceeded to close her up and head out to talk to the parents and give them the good news at that point.
They pulled their masks down and they smiled and they said, we got it.
I think all the stars aligned here, the expertise of the two different teams, but also the willpower of Lindsey to just get up and get going and make a dramatic and fast recovery the way that she did.
It was as good as you can imagine for everybody. And if I had to do it again, I'd do it the same way.
It's just tremendous, I think, how well the different subspecialties work together as a true team. And that team provided us the support that we needed to be able to be steady for Lindsey. As a parent, all you want to do is protect your child and take care of them. And they took care of our daughter in ways that we couldn't. And it felt like they did it and cared for her like their own child. And that's all we could ask for. So we're so grateful.